Dozens of people are searching for a missing hiker in the gorge.
21-year-old Riley Zickel set out on an overnight hike by himself.
Colorado County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing hiker on the Olympic Peninsula.
Ron and Trevor Higgins, the father and son, were last seen Friday. They disappeared while hunting near Bear Camp Road above Agnes.
21-year-old Riley Zickel, the senior at Lewis and Clark College, disappeared.
An emotional plea from friends of a woman who is missing right now in the Skamania County wilderness. She's 19 years old, Maureen Kelly.
Searchers are looking for a 76-year-old farmer who did not come back from mushroom hunting near Grangeville.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest Missing Persons Project. I'm your host, Tanner Hoskins, Executive Director here at PNW MPP, and this week's episode is going to be about the case of Jason Lovelady. But before we get into this week's episode, I want to let you all know that there will not be a podcast episode for next week, September 19th. I have a few big things to take care of and will not have the necessary time to write, edit, and record a podcast. Additionally, there's some news about our Bigfoot search team. We are gearing up for one of our last expeditions into the Indian Heaven Wilderness of Gifford-Pinchot National Forest, and this trip will come sometime in early to mid-October. My other co-founders, Kelly and Mike, will be collecting trail cameras in the coming days so that we can go over the footage that we've caught since mid-summer and redeploy these cameras for the long-duration winter deployment. These cameras are up from mid-October until June of 2025. That is how long the snow levels last in these areas. Some additional news. As I'm writing this podcast, news has come out that another human skull has been located inside the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest in southwest Washington state. This skull was located by a bear hunter in the area of the Sawtooth Berry Fields. Now, this skull has yet to be identified, but there is a good chance that these remains could be that of Glenn Austin Oldfield II, missing since October 2nd of 2015. Austin's missing persons case is what started the Pacific Northwest Missing Persons Project in the first place. This originally started as a mapping project for our team at Pacific Northwest Bigfoot Search, all because a family friend of Austin's reached out asking us to keep an eye out for any of his belongings. Now again, DNA analysis has not come back on these yet. So we are just jumping to somewhat of a conclusion, but it's based off of the evidence that we know, and there's a high likelihood that this could be Glenn Austin Oldfield. Now, there are 10 other individuals known to be missing in this forest. There are 23 additional individuals that could possibly be missing in the forest. So we are always just so thankful to the outdoors community for keeping their heads on a swivel and having enough situational awareness to notice human remains in the brush of all of these forests. Any update regarding the identification of these human remains will be given in the future once more details are provided by the Skamania County Sheriff's Office and the State Medical Examiner's Office. All right, with all of that being said, let's get into this week's episode. This week's episode covers the case of Jason Lovelady, a 38-year-old male, 5 foot 9 inches tall, 180 pounds, that was out gathering pine cones with his family in the area of Elbow Lake Trailhead in the Mount Baker Wilderness in northern Washington state. They were out gathering pine cones on October 5th of 2013 when Jason decided to step off the trail to relieve himself. The area that Jason stepped off the trail is in close proximity to the Nooksack River and Walnut Creek. Jason was carrying a 3-gallon white plastic bucket for gathering pine cones with his family. Jason was wearing green shorts, a red and black flannel shirt, and ankle-high brown work boots. The family had continued gathering pine cones, and as time passed, they started to become concerned as Jason was not making it back in a timely period. The family began searching the area, calling for Jason, and after 4 hours of their own searching, they decided to contact the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office. Search and rescue was immediately deployed to the area, and ground searchers took to the area on October 5th, the same day that Jason went missing. They also searched all day on October 6th, with no sign of Jason, nor the white bucket Jason was carrying, located anywhere. Now, there are a few articles that were written a couple of years after Jason's disappearance that claim that the bucket and some burlap sacks were located in the area, but I cannot confirm nor deny if that information is truly accurate. This section of the forest has about a 50 to 100 yard visibility with very little underbrush in the area. While that line of sight sounds like a lot, when you're in the forest, it's not very far at all. We have seen countless missing persons who have died less than 50 yards from a main road, 50 yards from warmth, rescue, and safety. At the time of Jason's disappearance, the rivers in the area, the Nooksack River and the Walnut Creek, were moving extremely fast. If Jason fell into the water, it's likely he drowned very quickly in the current. It's also highly likely that Jason became turned around while stepping off the trail to relieve himself and maybe just ended up wandering deeper into that forest. There's also a chance that Jason could have just suffered from some type of medical emergency while in the forest. There's a lot that could have come into play. If you know anything about Jason Lovelady's disappearance, or if you just plan to hike in the area, please visit our homepage at pnwmpp.org and utilize the interactive map on our homepage. Please take note of what Jason was wearing and remain vigilant. You never know when you might locate something that brings answers or closure to a grieving family. Thank you.